So next is the Glen Ellyn Public Library Executive Director, Don Bussey, who will provide an update on the 2020 census. Don.
Yes, it's not quite as exciting as the Frida things that are gonna be going on, but I think it's really, really important. And thanks for this opportunity to tell you a little bit about why a census and what we're doing to try to have a complete count here in Glen Ellyn. So first of all, what I wanted to share with you is we also have received a grant for $10,000 from the Rails Library System in conjunction with the Illinois Department of Human Services so that we can work to educate our community and try to get a complete count of everyone who lives in our community. We've partnered with Megan here at the Village as well as with the League of Women Voters. And we are currently in the process of the education portion of the program. We have sent information out, we've done a whole messaging plan, and we're sharing that same message through the Village and through the library and through the League of Women Voters. We've sent all that information out to other agencies like the Children's Resource Center, Bridge Communities. There's a long, long list. And so what I'd like to tell you is why? Why is this so important? Well, what is a census? A census is a count of every person in every household throughout the country. Why is this important? A lot of really important decisions are made based on those census numbers for the course of the next 10 years. Why do we do it? Well, it's the law. The Constitution has stated that since 1790, a complete count of all people living in the United States is to be conducted every 10 years in the years that end with 0. So we have a 2020 census. Why does it matter? Why is it important? It's actually sort of a powerful thing. It's an opportunity for us to stand up and be counted. The numbers are used to determine how many representatives we have in Congress. They're used to determine the boundaries and districts for our schools and for our governmental agencies. Why else do we do it? Well, there's a lot of money involved. 675 billion federal dollars are distributed based upon census numbers. Now, I've heard two different figures given. This last week, Congressman Castman was at the library, and he quoted that equates to about $1,000 per person in Illinois, which over 10 years, that would be $10,000 per person. But Congressman Foster, 2 weeks prior to that, at a different program that I was at, quoted that it's $1,800 per person. Over 10 years, that would be $18,000 per person. Either way, it's an awful lot of dollars, and it's important that we count every person so that those dollars that are required come to Illinois. It's also about data. As I mentioned, these numbers guide important decisions for our state and for our local communities. Why should you do it? The census data actually impacts our daily lives. These dollars go to really important things. They go to our schools, they go to our hospitals, they go to emergency services. They even go to roads and bridges, and we all know what poor conditions so many of our bridges are here in Illinois. Why else should I do it? Some people are really scared that their information isn't safe if they give it to the Census Bureau, and that is not the case. Your information is safe and secure. They actually cannot release any specific identifiable data for 72 years. Anyone who works for the Census Bureau, by law, if they were to leak any of your private information, they can be fined up to $250,000 and spend up to 5 years in jail. So your information is safe with the Census Bureau. What will they ask you? Well, to be perfectly honest, the 2020 census is 8 very basic questions. They ask, how many people are in your home on April 1st? Do you own or rent that home? What is your telephone number? They'll ask for names, sex, and birth dates of the individuals staying in your home on April 1st, and they'll ask for ethnicity. That's all. If you have any sort of census experience or application that asks you for a social security number, personal information like utility bills or account numbers, that is not a true census form. And I urge you, if you have an experience like that, or you talk to someone who is, tell them to stop immediately. Do not give that kind of information out. Sadly, this world we live in, scammers will go after anyone for anything. And these census scams are taking place, and they're taking place right here in Glen Ellyn. So if you know of anyone, please help them out. Who should we count? We should count everyone, absolutely, positively everyone who's in our households on April 1st. No matter how old or young they are, if they're newborn or if they're 99 or over, they should be counted. Now, the one exception to that rule is college students and those in the military, because they will not be in your households more than likely on April 1st. Most college students will still be at their universities and their colleges. Many of our military who are active won't be at home those days, on that day. So you do not count those people on April 1st. They will be counted in groups along with their university or their military. How can you respond to the census this year? Well, this is the very first time where they are asking us to respond to the census over the internet. What's going to happen is there'll be a letter that's going to come by snail mail in your mailbox on or around March 15th. And that letter is going to give you an identifier and the URL for you to visit so that you can complete the census online. Now, not everyone has access to a computer and internet, or not everyone feels safe doing it that way. That's where the library can come in. We are designating 4 computers only for filling out the census. Along with those computers, there will be a binder that will have the instructions on how to do it in it's either 12 or 14 languages. And the League of Women Voters will be providing volunteers to man those computers during busy traffic hours so that they can help people to complete the census. So still, maybe you're not comfortable no matter what doing it over the internet. You can do it by phone. There is a toll-free number that you can call and you can answer those 8 basic questions over the phone. Maybe neither one of those are of interest to you. If you wait, they will actually send you a paper form in the mail sometime mid to late April, and you can complete that paper form and send it in. If you don't, do it over the internet or call or fill out the paper form, they will come knocking at your door in order to get a complete count. When can you respond? April 1st is the first day you can respond. So you're going to get that letter in the mail on or around March 15th. You're going to put it on your to-do list and on your calendar, so on April 1st or April 2nd, you can go to that website and you can complete your census form, because it's all based on who was in your home on April 1st. What can you do to help us? You can help us to spread the word. Help us to make sure that people realize that this is important. This means whether or not we lose another representative in Congress. We've already had over 165,000 residents leave Illinois just in the last 5 years, which means we've lost 1 representative. If we don't get everyone counted, we could lose 2, possibly 3 total. It means we can get those federal dollars into our state and into our community. So help us spread the word. If people have questions or aren't sure if this is the right thing or the right form, they can always contact the library and we'll be more than happy to help them. So that's why the census is important. And in addition to having the computers at the library, we also, through our grant, have purchased 5 iPads and 5 hotspots, and we're planning a series of programs out in the community at some of our faith-based organizations and some of our schools, and we will be taking those iPads and hotspots as well as interpreters out on the road and helping people in places where maybe they feel even more comfortable than the library so that they can complete the census. If you have any questions, you know how to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Really appreciate it. I was at an event last week, at the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, and they had the Illinois State Department of HR director there who's leading this. And I cannot tell you, she stressed how important our libraries are in this census this year, and that they are relying on it. And if it wasn't for the leadership of the libraries, that we would not have a successful census. So thank you for your role. Thank you for contributing with the library and for all your contributions. So thank you so much.
Can I add one quick thing?
Yep.
I want to echo that, Dawn. Thank you very much, you and your team and the League of Women Voters for helping us out. I also just want to make one additional comment, is we've got limited resources that are able to go out and help folks that are harder to reach. So it's really important for us that are easier to reach to get the form, fill it out quickly, and not waste our resources on tracking down folks that are very capable of filling this out. So in addition to spreading the word, spread the word to return it quickly and allow the resources to be used where they're most needed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.